Today I'm going to share the ingredients to a very special secret recipe for our New England clam chowder.
He whispers to the clams and they hear him. He's out there with his clam rake, they don't fear him. They only want to be near him. The clam whisperer, the clam whisperer. He's the clam whisperer.
So obviously, if we're going to make our clam chowder, the first ingredient we need is potatoes, which we're going to get at the supermarket on the way home. So now, let's get some clams. Nothing. All right. Well, I was out there a few minutes. I didn't get any potatoes, but I did get some delicious clams, which will make a very nice chowder.
Who's ready for some chowder?
Not just any chowder, we're talking the Colton family recipe passed down for 3 generations lovingly. This is my father.
This is my son.
Waka waka.
He whispers to the clams and they hear him. He's out there with his clam rake, they don't fear him. They only want to be near him. The clam whisperer, the clam whisperer. He's the clam whisperer.
This town is so secluded, nobody knows where it is. Let's go.
Well, I don't do these things. Do you want to?
Hi, we're at the supermarket and we just purchased the ingredients we need for the chowder of the century. Salt, pork, an onion, and my dad does have celery. All right, we're back from the supermarket. What we're gonna do is put the clams in the pot, put about a 1/2 inch of water, light the burner, and let them steam open. Okay, the clams have been steaming for about 15 minutes or so in about a 1/2 inch of fresh water. And now that every clam is opened up, we take the lid off, turn the heat off, and let them cool. One side note, very important to make sure all the clams have opened before you turn the heat off for the safety of everyone. Okay, now that the clams have been steamed open and they're still kind of hot, you just grab them, put the meat inside your new dish. But most important, the liquid that's now in this pan is delicious broth, which will add to the flavor of the secret recipe. So now what we do is we take the clams out of the brine. They're pretty big and you really don't want pieces that big in your chowder. So we're going to take these and chop them into nice bite-sized pieces. Again, keeping this ambrosia, this broth, this briny liquid of joy into the final project. Hi Dad, would you show me the technique that's been passed down for 3 generations?
Okay, it's called the rapid chop.
Okay.
You hold a knife with here, you hold it here, and you just go boom, 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 boom.
I like it.
Boom, 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 boom,
All right, so now we're back at the stove And we're putting a little olive oil into the pan. Okay, not too much. Then we have our salt pork, which has been cut up. We're gonna put that into the bowl there. And we're gonna let that fry up for a few minutes. So as the salt pork is frying up nicely and crisping up, there is one thing I wanted to remind you of, that we put the salt pork raw in a bowl of fresh water overnight, so that dilutes some of the saltiness. So when you do fry it up, that beautiful pork flavor is present and it doesn't get overwhelmed by a really heavy saltiness, which would happen. So very important. So my dad helped me out, chopped up the celery and onion in a very nice portion. And what I've done is I've removed the salt pork, but I've kept the grease, which is a very nice secret step, which will infuse that wonderful pork flavor into the onions and celery. So we're gonna let that cook for just a few minutes. All right, so there's 4 ingredients which are about to become infused in a very specific order. Number 1, we take the salt pork, we put it in with the onions and celery. We've put the salt pork in with the celery and onions, which are translucent. And now we have 3 additional ingredients which you're going to put in. First, the chopped clams are going to be put in there. Okay, very nice. All right. Next, we're going to put in the liquid brine, which is very important. This is really a key ingredient. All right, that goes in there. And finally, what we do is we take our heavy cream and we give it a nice healthy dose. See that there? Put that in there, Dad. Take a look. Okay. And I'm going to stir that in. So there is a new ingredient that's been added in this generation. What we've done is we've taken 2 beautiful Long Island potatoes. We've microwaved them for about 5 minutes. They're nice and soft. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mash them into a very nice paste. I'm going to add this to my chowder as a thickener. So my dad is mashing the 2 potatoes into a fine paste, which will be added shortly into the New England clam chowder of the century. All right, the potatoes are mashed. I'm taking my pepper mill, adding just a few turns for flavor. I'm going to take this and add this into our chowder as a thickener. Okay, that's going to go right in there. I'm going to turn the heat up in just a moment, and I'm going to finish things up. You have to be very careful not to overboil it because the cream could easily curdle.
Well, it all started back in 1948 when my father brought us out here and he would go clamming. As a matter of fact, he would do it with his garden cultivator that he brought from home. And we'd make the clam chowder, and I'm just passing the recipe on to my son. That's 3 generations of clam chowder making people.
He whispers to the clams and they hear him. He's out there with his clam rake, they don't fear him. They only want to be near him. The clam whisper, he's the clam whisper.